Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Cal bringing you another video on the channel today. So whether or not this is windy, I might not even be putting this up on YouTube. Playing pool for about an hour. I was cooking for about an hour, and you know, after my boys left and like everyone who I was comfortable with like ended up leaving, I ended up playing with a bunch of kind of acquainted people I'm not really too friends with that I wasn't like used to playing pool with. So I kind of felt this sense of I needed to prove myself. I needed to have them see my value. I needed to have them see how good I was at pool. And so through this, I played like absolute dog shit. So we played a 2-on-2, and dude, I was missing shots I usually never miss. I started to get angry. I started to have all these negative thoughts, and ultimately it made me play even worse because every time I would shoot a shot, I would think about them thinking about me shooting, right? So my self-image was on the line. I was like, oh my god, dude, if I fucking miss this, I'm gonna, you know, throw myself off a cliff. When in reality, if I just collected myself, realized that I am not my thoughts, and none of this really matters. Through me realizing that I'm creating my own self-pain by not watching my thoughts and identifying with my thoughts so heavy. So when I identify with my thoughts, I mean, like, okay, I'm such a dog shit pool player. Like, that's what I'm telling myself in my head. I'm like, oh my god, they think I'm horrible. And like a girl who was on my team was trying to give me tips, and I started to get angry. I was like, oh my god, great, now she's trying to give me tips. Like, she's oh no, she's trying to help me. Like, what, dude? She's trying to help me get better. Like, and she's trying to be a supportive teammate. But me, I'm like, oh dude, she thinks I suck. And it's totally egoic in the sense that instead of unifying with her, instead of being like, okay, and actually listening to her tips, I'm dividing by like being the complete opposite and just nodding my head yeah, and just listening without actually paying attention to what she's saying, you know, because maybe what she's saying would help me get back on track physically, and through getting better physically, I'll be better mentally, you know. And so through this, I took a step back. I was like, okay, Cal, yeah, she's trying to help you. She's trying to help you unify, you know, and she wants to win the game, you know. And I was like, yeah, Cal, just relax, you're good. And I still played like dog shit, but still, I was able to realize that, and I was able to apply the knowledge I've been gaining over these past couple months to help me in a real life situation. So what I kind of want to get to you guys is, if you are in a situation where you are playing a team sport, it could be chess, it could be checkers, you know, anything, any real life matter that when you feel that you need to prove yourself or you need to prove your value and your thoughts begin to overtake your natural ability in whatever thing you're doing, activity, and you know how good you are, right? So I'm actually a really good pool player. I know that for a fact, right? I don't need to prove myself. I already know how good I am. There's no point in doing it. When I'm naturally in a flow state, I'm better. What I kind of want to get across to you guys is, if you can use these types of real world situations, it can become a tremendous spiritual practice in the sense that you are applying the knowledge and intellectual information that you have been gaining over these past couple months, how long you've ever been on your spiritual journey, because that, like Eckhart Tolle says, it doesn't matter how much you meditate, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have, unless you apply it, it's useless, you know, because who would want to have all this knowledge, you know, and knowledge is power to a certain extent, but what's the point of having knowledge or information that doesn't fucking serve you? Like, what is the point of that? And so the whole point is to help you in these real life situations break free of your ego, because that is some of the most egoic trouble I have, and I still have those self-doubting thoughts, those self-doubting reactions in situations. And so even though I wasn't able to realize it until the end, when I was done, the game was over and I got my ass kicked, I realized it and I was able to grow spiritually, reflect, and now hopefully in a future situation I'll be better. And that's what truly matters. So once again, if you are faced with a situation where you may be in a divisive type of sport, right? So a team versus team, or just in any situation where you feel your ego, your identification with thoughts, right? Your identification with your mind comes into play and it takes over your natural ability to do something or natural value, just observe it. Watch your mind as it goes on and doubts you, but the thoughts will eventually wear away through your observation, because thoughts are temporary and thoughts only exist in our awareness, right? And so when I mean awareness, I mean our attention within the moment, right? Within our conscious mind. And if you just don't put attention on your thoughts through observing, they'll eventually fade away and you'll be able to be the best you possible. So I just kind of wanted to maybe share this experience with you guys, and if it helps you at all, that's great, you know, because I don't want you guys to go through the same thing, because I could feel the negative emotion, I could feel the stress, and it was not maximal by any sense, but it was very minimal. But if I continue to identify with it, right, and I let that pool game dictate my entire life, something that happened in the past dictate this present moment here and now, then I would be identified with my ego. And that's exactly what the ego wants. The ego feeds off of that, whether you know it or not. It builds this identification in your mind, and it eventually becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually it surfaces. I hope you guys can take something away. Love yourself because I love you. And yeah, hope you have a great night, you know, beautiful night. Got the stars, got everything. So I love you guys. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, take care and peace the fuck out.